My wife declared she was bisexual, and then 6 months later she left me for a woman. So July 2023, my wife has our third healthy child and everything is perfect. December 2023, she's omitted to hospital with sepsis but gets through that okay. Roll on to the summer of 2024, my wife declares to me that although that she's always admired women, she's now sure that she's definitely bisexual. That summer, my wife strikes up a friendship with a lesbian mum at school called Stacy. My wife and Stacy start going running together, and my PT wife also starts to train Stacy. Stacy at the time is in a long-term relationship with 2 young children. The 22nd of September, 24, my wife goes away from a girls' weekend where she gets drunk and exchanged flirty messages with Stacy and tells her that she's bisexual and Stacy is her type. My wife comes home from the girls' weekend an absolute wreck and apologizes me profoundly and tells me that I can leave her etc. and how much she loves me. Not sure what to do and clouded by the fact I was starting a new job the next day, I forgave her. Not sure what to do thereafter, I didn't want to stop my wife from seeing a friend and also not wanting to suppress her sexuality, so they continued to see each other and eventually kissed. Stacy then walked out on her partner SND kids on October 24th and my wife and her continued to see each other, although they claim they never had sex by that point, something which I have since been given conflicting information from my wife's friend. All through this period, I'm a wreck and we end up having couples therapy. Throughout it all, my wife is assuring me that she wants to be with me and she just needs to explore this and is essentially using Stacy as a vehicle to explore women. Through this period, I tried to stop it, I tried to get out of it, but my wife would always pull me back in through sex. Roll on to the end of November 24th and it's my wife's birthday. I feel like I'm in competition with Stacy, so I spent a fortune on her birthday. She took all the presents and told me how much she loved me etc. I was away on business for her birthday, so she spent the day with Stacy and essentially they had their first taste in public of what it felt like to be a gay couple. My wife lied to me about the extent of how much they were holding hands that day, and I now had the feeling that something had changed out of my favor. Come that Friday, I picked up my wife's phone and read messages from Stacy to her declaring her love for my wife and my wife saying something similar back. Over the weekend, my wife left me in on my own with the kids to go around Stacy's, when I asked her not to go. A week later she told me she wanted to be with Stacy more than me. She told me she loves me, how amazing I am, how she's attracted to me still, but this is something she has to explore. The next month was a blur of bitterness between us and trying to navigate where each was living and who was having the kids. 5 weeks later, I've grieved my marriage and all that I've come used to and have lost. I'm trying to keep a good relationship with her for our kids and so that we can co-parent well. Whilst I've accepted her decision and I'm trying to look forward, I can't help thinking back if there was anything I could have done differently to keep my family together. I also wonder, could she have post-sepsis syndrome? Waves of grief for my children and what my relationship will look like with them if she has primary custody of them also come over me. Has anyone been through similar that has any coping advice? I am due to start therapy next week by the way. Confession 2. Got cheated on, twice, life sucks but I'll live. I 35M found out by accident I was being cheated on by my partner 24F due to company-is checkups. She gave me syphilis, and my body reacted to it sooner than her. For some reason she didn't even know about it till I got checked as per routine. This came up during test time, but as it wasn't a full medical I put due diligence into my self-care. I mean I didn't have anything to lose, or so I thought. She cried, freaked out, and we got melded to clean up the STI AMI, and my loving stupid self forgave her, hoping it would make us stronger. LOL. Fast forward 11 months, a family member got sick, and she pulled away. She got distant, seeing me stressed but not broken. It got bad till we basically called it quits only to have a talk about us over dinner. We melded to issue rekindled the energy and felt better. I got birthday gifts from her, and we spent Christmas morning together, but we had separate family activities, so decided to meet up the next day. Social media is definitely a double-edged sword. I don't use it much, but my friends do, and lo and behold her posting a guy on his birthday while my people ask me, "Who's that?" I immediately questioned her about it even though we got a little distant for a few days. We had just been together talking about having a child, planned on proposing mid-2025 before actually having a kid. She denied anything serious with that guy as he's a friend, didn't drink that down but kept calm. I was never a fan of letting others know or meddle in relationship affairs, but IG to the rescue. I reached out to her BFF as it so happened both of them got distant as well. I spilled the beans to BFF and she understood as we kept a boundary of communication that was never bad, and the friend confirmed the second time she cheated by asking about the condom found in my partner during a pap smear. P.S. It wasn't mine. She basically felt sorry for me and told me to move on, said I didn't deserve it and could reach out if I needed to talk, but I've made peace. She saw the pain, but BFF comes before others, and while she didn't stop talking to her yet or maybe, she did give me solace mixed with genuine words, and I'm grateful for that much.
48M keeps making inappropriate jokes, and it's making me, 15F, uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I'm really uncomfortable with the way my history teacher has been acting lately. He's in his late 40s, and for some reason, he thinks it's okay to make sexual jokes during class. He'll make comments like calling himself daddy and telling the class be good for daddy, and he often goes on these rants about historical figures' sex lives. The one that really got to me was when he spent way too much time talking about Benjamin Franklin being a freak when it came to his sexual exploits. On top of that, he sometimes overshares personal things, like telling us about his wife having an affair. It's like he's trying to make the class laugh, but it feels inappropriate and uncomfortable, especially since we're not adults. I don't want to think of him as a creepy weirdo, and I know he might just be trying to get us to laugh or connect, but it's starting to feel like there's something more off about it. I don't even know if I should report it or if he just needs help or therapy or something. I guess I'm just really confused about how to handle it, because part of me feels bad for him, but the other part feels like this behavior isn't okay, and I'm not sure what to do.
Confession 4. From gym life to cancer, how my world turned upside down. I was 17, young, healthy, and full of life. My days revolved around the gym, school, and hanging out with my friends. I'd wake up before sunrise to hit the gym, attend classes, then go back for another workout at night. My dedication was paying off. I was finally building the muscular physique I dreamed of. My grades were great, my family was supportive, and I even had a girlfriend. Life felt perfect, like I was on top of the world. But perfection is fragile. It started subtly, a heavy feeling in my chest, like I couldn't catch my breath, even though I was in the best shape of my life. My chest looked muscular but felt bloated and strange. Then came the fevers, relentless fatigue, and night sweats that drenched my sheets. Something wasn't right. I went to a doctor, thinking it might just be exhaustion or some kind of infection. They ran tests and scans, then handed me a letter to take to the hospital. That moment marked the end of my old life. At the hospital, they dropped the bombshell: leukemia. Blood cancer. I was told the treatment would take 2 years, an endless, grueling battle of chemotherapy, tests, and procedures. I didn't fully grasp what was happening until the chemo started. Within weeks, I lost my hair. My once muscular body wasted away until I was barely recognizable, a skeleton of the person I used to be. The first chemo session hit me harder than I ever imagined. It caused severe damage to my digestive system, and I couldn't eat or drink for 15 days, not even water. In the middle of June, with the temperature soaring to 50 degrees Celsius, I had to endure unimaginable thirst. As my body withered, so did my social life. Friends stopped visiting, my girlfriend left, and I was left with only my family, especially my mom, who became my rock. I lost a year of school, and while my peers lived their lives, I spent my days confined to a hospital room, hooked to machines that pumped chemicals into my veins. Holidays, birthdays, moments that used to mean so much became hollow reminders of what I'd lost. One night in July, things got even worse. I caught COVID during a chemo session. Within a week, I slipped into a coma. The doctors told my mom to prepare for the worst. For 2 weeks, my life hung by a thread. But by some miracle, I woke up. I rested for a while but had to return to the hospital to continue the treatment. Every step forward felt like climbing a mountain, but I kept going. Eventually, I underwent a bone marrow transplant, a grueling procedure that became my last hope. Now, here I am, 3 years later. My hair has grown back, not as perfect as before, but it's there. I've gained weight and strength, and I'm finally thinking about returning to the gym this month. I've rebuilt my life piece by piece. I graduated and earned my bachelor's degree in a field I love. I've made new friends and moved to a new neighborhood. My family is still with me, though I've lost a few loved ones along the way. Life has changed. I've changed. I'm no longer the boy who took everything for granted. Every breath, every meal, every moment feels like a gift now. And yes, I'm still single, but hey, I've survived things most people can't even imagine. The gym is calling me back, and I'm ready to answer. This is my story, a testament to resilience, hope, and the power of starting over. Life knocked me down, but I got back up. And I'll keep moving forward, one rep, one day, one dream at a time.